Somewhere in your story, there is a scene you can't quite hold on to anymore. You remember the kitchen light. You remember the tone of their voice. You remember the way your chest tightened. But when you try to place it in time, was it before the holiday? After your birthday? During that awful year, the whole moment slips through your fingers like smoke. And when you finally gather the courage to say, "This happened," they tilt their head, give you that disappointed look, and say the sentence that shuts your body down. That's not how it happened. You're remembering it wrong. Little by little, event by event, your own mind starts to feel like a traitor dot, if that's you. Please hear this clearly. You are not crazy. You are not broken. You are not too sensitive. You have been living in what I call the gaslighting fog, a psychological climate where a narcissist or a deeply self-absorbed person quietly rewrites your reality until you no longer trust your own memory, your own reactions, even your own story dot in this video. We're going to walk straight into that fog and out the other side. You'll learn what gaslighting really is beyond "they lied," how narcissistic abuse actually scrambles time and memory, 5 lived signs you're in the fog, how Carl Jung's ideas explain why your story was stolen, and a gentle, realistic process to start rebuilding your timeline and reclaiming your truth. If, as you listen, you feel a part of you whisper, "I want my life back," I invite you to stay until the end. And when you're ready, comment the word "map" below as your quiet promise to yourself that you're going to build a new, honest map of your own life. Most people think gaslighting is just lying, but if you've lived with a narcissist, a parent, partner, or even a perfect sibling, you know it's much more surgical than that. Gaslighting isn't just, "I didn't say that." It's a coordinated attack on 4 things at once. What happened? When it happened, how often it happened, and whether you were allowed to feel the way you felt. You say, "You shouted at me last night." They say, "I wasn't shouting, you're exaggerating." You say, "You've done this for years." They say, "You always bring up the past, just let it go." You say, "That hurt me." They say, "You're too sensitive. Anyone else would be fine." Slowly, the event stops being what happened and becomes my overreaction. From a Jungian point of view, the narcissist is protecting something very fragile, their persona, the mask they show the world. The charming dad, the spiritual mother, the enlightened partner, the one who is always calm, wise. Above it all, your accurate memory is a mirror that cracks that masked dot, so instead of facing the crack, they attack the mirror. Your perception, your recall, your sanity. Gaslighting is not a random bad habit. It is a survival strategy for a fragile ego, and you became the battlefield. Here's the part almost nobody explains. Gaslighting isn't just emotional abuse. Over time, it actually changes the way your brain records reality. Think of your nervous system like a librarian. On a calm day, she files everything neatly. Dates, details, who said what. Events go into labeled folders. Holiday 2012, graduation, that rainy Tuesday with coffee and laughter. But in a narcissistic environment, the librarian is never calm. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, is on high alert. You're always scanning. Are they in a good mood or bad? Is tonight going to be peaceful or dangerous? Do I have to fix something, apologize for something, shrink a little more? When the body is in survival mode, the librarian stops filing carefully. She throws things into boxes marked danger, confusion, shame, and shoves them on the shelf. Years of that. And your timeline starts to blur. Whole seasons of your life become foggy. Those were the years I walked on eggshells. That was my marriage. That was when I kept saying sorry. That was when I felt numb. You remember the climate, but not the calendar. Psychologists sometimes call this complex trauma, Not one single shock, but a climate of threat and invalidation. From inside that climate, your brain does something incredibly intelligent. It prioritizes survival over storytelling. From a Jungian lens, a part of your soul goes underground. The psyche says, if we remember every detail right now, we won't get through this. So we'll store fragments and feelings. We'll come back later when it's safer. So if your memories feel scattered, incomplete, or strangely distant, it is not proof that it wasn't that bad. It may be the clearest evidence of how bad it really was. Let's name some of the ways this fog actually feels in daily life. As I go through these, notice if your body reacts, a tightness, a sigh, a wave of, oh, that's me. Sign number 1, the I don't know anymore reflex. You start sentences with, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but even when you're talking about simple things, who called first, who canceled plans, who raised their voice, self-doubt has become your default safety strategy. It feels safer to be wrong about yourself than disrespectful to them. Over time, this reflex can spread into everything. Decisions about work, friendships, money. You do endless research. Ask everyone else's opinion and still feel unsure. Because somewhere inside you learned, my inner yes and inner no cannot be trusted. Sign number 2, time blocks you can't place. There are whole years you describe in one blurry sentence. That was when Dad was drinking. That was my marriage. That was when Mom was always disappointed in me. You remember the weight in your chest, the knots in your stomach, the exhaustion, but not the small, anchoring details that make a life. Movies you watched, food you loved, little joys. It's as if the years were lived on mute. Sign number 3, you need them to confirm your own reality. You catch yourself asking the very people who distort reality to confirm it for you. Did I say that? Was I really that bad? Am I remembering this wrong? Your inner authority has been outsourced. You feel a strange relief when they say, no, you're fine, even though you know they lie. Sign number 4, photos and objects feel out of context. You open an old album or drawer, a birthday picture, a holiday table, a gift they gave you. A wave of emotion hits, grief, shame, anger, but the story is fuzzy. You feel like you're staring at someone else's life. You might even feel guilty looking at happy photos because part of you whispers, maybe I'm being unfair. Look, we were smiling. Sign number 5, your story changes depending on who you're with. With safe people, you can say, it was abusive. I was gaslit. I lost myself. With family or the narcissist, the sentences get softer. We all made mistakes. It wasn't that bad. I'm probably overreacting. Your story bends to keep the peace, and every bend feeds the fog around what actually happened. If you recognize yourself in these, take a breath. These are not signs that you're unstable. They are signs that you survived in a reality that kept telling you not to exist as you are. If you feel brave enough, comment the word fog below. Not as a confession of weakness, but as a quiet way of saying, I'm naming where I am so I can begin to leave it. Carl Jung believed that we live inside stories long before we write them down. We don't just have memories. We have a myth about who we are, what family means, what love feels like, what we deserve. The narcissist, through a Jungian lens, is someone whose entire sense of self is glued to the persona, the mask, while their shadow holds everything they can't bear to see, their cruelty, envy, shame, and fear. Your accurate memory threatens both. When you say, you hurt me, the persona hears, you're not who you pretend to be. When you say, this pattern has been there for years, the shadow trembles. What if they see what I really am? So instead of saying, I did that, and I need to face it, they reach for a darker kind of magic. They steal the pen. Gaslighting is narrative theft. It's someone grabbing the story of your life and rewriting it in real time. You're the problem. You are always difficult. You're imagining things. Your confusion, your fog, is not a personal failure. It is the friction between your deeper truth and the false story being forced over it. In Jung's language, your unconscious is protesting. This script does not match the reality of my soul. The pain you feel around memory is not only a wound, it is also a signal there is a truer story under here, waiting to be told. For many empaths and black sheep, this is the beginning of individuation. The day you say, I cannot live inside your version of me anymore, is the day a deeper self begins quietly stepping forward. Even if your hands are still shaking, you don't have to remember everything to begin healing. You don't need a perfect courtroom transcript of your past. What you need is a gentle, honest way to start trusting your own perception again. Here is a 4-step process. Take what fits, leave the rest. Step 1, anchor one undeniable fact at a time. Start small. I remember standing in that hallway. I remember my hands shaking. I remember thinking, something is wrong. No arguing about who is right or wrong. Just anchoring your own inner experience as real. You are telling your nervous system, what I felt matters. If your mind tries to interrupt with, but maybe they didn't mean it, gently say, we're not talking about them right now. We're talking about me. You are moving the spotlight from their intentions to your reality. Step 2, create a compassionate timeline, not a legal document. If it feels safe, open a notebook or a simple document and title it Years of Fog. Pick a year or a phase: when I lived with him, when mom was ill, those years after the divorce. Under each one, write a few things you remember, a few events, a few sentences of how you felt most of the time, and any moment where your body whispered, this isn't right. This is not evidence to convince them. It is orientation for you. If a page stays mostly empty, don't panic. That page is still information. It might simply say, I was exhausted. I was always afraid of doing something wrong. That one sentence is already more honest than the story you were given. Step 3, use safe mirrors, not distorted ones. When you're ready, choose 1 or 2 people who feel grounded, a therapist, a support group, a trusted friend, sometimes even a healthy adult child. Share a small piece of your story. Notice how they respond. Do they minimize you? Or do they say, that makes sense? Of course you felt that way. Each safe reflection is like a mirror cleaning off the narcissist's fingerprints from your memories. If you grew up in a family where everything was fine, as long as nobody talked about the truth, this step can feel almost rebellious. But every time you speak honestly to a safe person, you are gently teaching your nervous system it is safe to exist in reality. Step 4, install present moment reality checks. Gaslighting trained you to leave your body and enter their story. Healing asks you to come home. Once or twice a day, pause and say quietly, right now I see, right now I hear, right now I feel, right now I believe. A few simple sentences spoken in the present. Begin relinking your mind to your own sensory truth. From a Jungian perspective, every time you do this, you are choosing the path of individuation, stepping out of the family script or the narcissist script, and into an honest relationship with your own soul. At first, this may feel awkward, but over weeks and months, these tiny check-ins build a new habit. Instead of asking, what do they say is true? You start asking, what do I know is true right now in my own body and mind? If your memories feel scattered, if years of your life sit in a blur, if you panic when someone says, that's not how it happened, please listen. Your fog is not proof that you are unreliable. It is proof that you carried far more than any one person should have to carry. You are not failing to remember. You are slowly waking up from a story that was never written for your good. From this moment on, you don't have to be the confused character in someone else's narrative. You get to become the conscious archivist of your own life, the one who says, "This is what I lived. This is what I felt. This is what is true for me." That doesn't mean hating everyone who hurt you. For many people in midlife, it means something quieter. Accepting that some of the people you loved most may never validate your reality, and choosing to heal anyway. Choosing to build a future that is no longer edited by their shame. If you're ready to begin that work, comment the word nap so your future self can look back and see the day you started redrawing your reality. And if you want to go deeper into this journey, from reclaiming memory to setting clean boundaries, and finally choosing relationships that feel like oxygen, not smoke, let this video be the first page, not the last chapter of your comeback story.